Hey, Wembong World Entertainment, and yes, we are talking about Pedro Pascal and the little green bastard. Because the movie is out, it dropped in Europe yesterday, it's already a bomb. That's right. And this isn't one of these, oh, you're just review bombing it, oh, you're just saying it because you're anti-Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. No, the numbers are showing it already because it dropped in Europe and it's already underperforming in Europe. So if they're losing Europe, yeah, it's not going to bode well for it in the States, which is going to open over the Memorial Day weekend. I believe it's the Memorial Day weekend. It's a long weekend anyway in the US. And because it's bombing now in Europe, they're already revising the numbers down. And there's already other articles out there trying to say, oh, it's looking like it's going to actually perform really well and the numbers are going up. The projections never went up. It's shills who are saying the projections are going up. But we're going to take a look at exactly what this thing is saying, because this is incredibly bad for the first Star Wars movie to be on the big screen in 7 years. So, Disney and Lucasfilm may already have a major problem on their hands with The Mandalorian and Grogu opening weekend box office. And it might be even worse than anyone originally thought. After early projections suggested The Mandalorian Grogu could open to roughly 160 million globally over Memorial Day weekend, new tracking indicates the film may now come in even lower after a weak start overseas, particularly in Europe. Now, Star Wars movies normally do incredibly well in Europe. The fact that this is not tells you everything you need to know. So, according to Global Box Office on X, The Mandalorian and Grogu underperformed at the European box office yesterday and is now tracking to have the worst global opening weekend ever for a Star Wars film. Now, that is insane to say when you think of how bad Solo performed, and the fact that they're trying to say, well, this cost in and around the same. This cost less than Solo because they filmed Solo twice. But this thing still has a reported budget of around $165 million. If it's starting to tank already and it's going to have the worst opening ever of a Star Wars movie ever, then the projections are going to come right down, because this movie ain't going to go up. Especially when all the reviews are now coming out and they are shitting on this movie. They're literally saying it's like a couple of bad episodes put together, and they're like the filler episodes. They're not even the proper good episodes. So, even more alarming, the account added that the movie might not even hit 150 million by Sunday. For most franchises, 150 million worldwide would still sound solid. But this is Star Wars, Disney's flagship sci-fi brand, and the company's first theatrical Star Wars release in 7 years. Expectations were far higher than this. From Disney's end of things, no one else was looking at this going, this is going to be a $1 billion movie. Well, except that one window-licking moron. Don't know his name. If you ever watch The Grizzy, he does the videos on him, and he's like, this thing, if it's a decent movie, it'll make $1 billion. If it's a great movie, it'll make $2 billion. And it's like, dude, what have you been looking at? So, this movie was supposed to signal that Star Wars could still dominate theaters after years of controversy, declining enthusiasm, cancelled projects, and uneven Disney Plus releases. Instead, the early reaction surrounding the film has left far more muted than Disney likely anticipated. Critics have also been far from enthusiastic. The film has been hovering dangerously close to rotten territory on Rotten Tomatoes, sitting around 60 to 61% as reactions continue to roll in. So, time of this recording, I have not looked. Well, actually, I may as well have a look now and see what the Rotten Tomatoes score is for that. By the way, that is for all critics. That hasn't gone down with critics. So it's sitting at 61% all critics and 88% with fans. Now, I'll come back to that in a second. But if I go to top critics, it's 60%. All audience score, it's 86%. The thing about that 88% is go and look at the majority of Star Wars movies and stuff from Disney on Rotten Tomatoes, because they all have the same fan score. It's weird. They all seem to come in. I don't, by the way, I have the window open. I have no idea whether you can hear that. Someone working next door. But the fact that all of these numbers come in at the same and they never move. So right now it says 500 plus verified ratings. That's on the fan end of things. I guarantee you over the weekend that 88 will not change. It'll be interesting to see what happens with the critics score though. But that combination, soft overseas turnout and mixed reviews, create a dangerous situation for a movie that desperately needs strong legs. Because the real issue here isn't simply the opening weekend itself, it's profitability. Disney has publicly cited a roughly $166 million cost figure for The Mandalorian and Grogu, but Valiant Renegades breakdown argued that number may only reflect California qualified expenditures tied to the state's tax credit program, not the full cost of the movie. What that means, people, is they're giving you the number they qualified for tax breaks in California, but they filmed outside of California as well. So it seems like they're not giving us the full number. Now, add in the marketing costs, because marketing will be massive on this. They've probably spent between 150, possibly even 200 million, if not more, on the marketing of this movie. Why do we say that? They spent 10 million. Actually, I think it was 30 million on the Super Bowl thing that they put out that people were like, what the hell is this? Then they've been marketing it everywhere. This thing has been everywhere. They've been pushing it incredibly hard. Then that whole staged fan reaction thing at the parks, they'd have paid for that as well, because they'd have flown all those idiots in and everything like that, put them up, and of course they let them in the park for free, so you're taking a loss there. You have paid unbelievable amounts to to market this thing. That is insane. And the fact that it is now underperforming. And keep in mind as well that the projections for this thing domestically have been incredibly low for its opening weekend. It's a 4-day opening weekend. Like, it's a long weekend. So if you're coming in well below 80 million just domestically, yeah, you're tanked. And it just shows you how little people actually care nowadays about Star Wars. How badly the brand has been damaged. And just how nobody has interest in it whatsoever anymore. When everybody's coming out, even people who are pretty much the Disney shills, even some of them, like Christian Harloff and stuff, you know, I've busted my ass for 5 years being a Star Wars fan. When he's walking out and going, you know what, it's not great. It's like just a filler episode. It's not what I was hoping for. And they're obviously trying to throw in the thing to try and keep themselves getting invited by going, it's fine. But when he's going like, yeah, this thing's pretty bad, you know you're in trouble. But what do you guys think? Will you be seeing? I'm not seeing it. I'm not reviewing this thing. I couldn't. I didn't watch season 3. I have absolutely no interest in wasting my time to watch a streaming movie, basically, that isn't even a good streaming movie. But if you guys are seeing it, let me know what you think of it. And of course, are you excited for it? Do you even care about it? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I shall catch you in the next one.